The words hit me like a freight train derailing in my chest. Crushing, deafening, irreversible. I stood frozen in the doorway of our dimly lit apartment, the takeout bags from Luigi's dangling limply from my fingers, grease seeping through the paper as the aroma of garlic and tomato sauce turned sour in the air. Sophia's voice, usually a melody that soothed my frayed nerves after a 12-hour shift at the warehouse, now sliced through the quiet evening like a serrated blade. "Yeah, my friends think he's not impressive enough for me," she said into her phone, her back to me as she paced the living room, her bare feet whispering against the worn hardwood floor. "I mean, I love him, but they're right. I should probably end it before the wedding. It's just embarrassing sometimes." Embarrassing. The word echoed in my skull, amplifying with each heartbeat until it drowned out the distant hum of city traffic below our third-floor window. I dropped the bags, thud, spilling pasta across the threshold, but she didn't notice, lost in her conversation. Her laughter followed, light and cruel, like tinkling glass shards. "God, Lisa, you're terrible. But yeah, imagine showing up to the reunion with a guy who drives a forklift for a living. I deserve better." I backed away silently, my vision blurring with hot tears I refused to let fall. Not yet. The hallway smelled of stale laundry from the neighbor's dryer vent, a mundane scent that grounded me as rage bubbled up, thick and viscous like oil in my veins. How long had she felt this way? We'd been engaged for 8 months, planning a simple ceremony in her parents' backyard. Nothing flashy because that's who I was. Alex Harlan, the reliable guy from the wrong side of town, who worked his ass off to afford this cramped Brooklyn walk-up. Sophia Ellis, the aspiring marketing exec with her glossy Instagram feed and circle of trust fund friends. I'd always known the gap, but I thought love bridged it. Now it felt like a chasm and she'd just pushed me in. That night, I lay beside her in bed, pretending to sleep as her soft breaths filled the room. The streetlight filtered through the blinds, casting striped shadows across her face. Beautiful, serene, traitorous. My mind raced, a storm of denial and fury. She's stressed, I told myself. Wedding jitters. She didn't mean it. But the words replayed on loop, each repetition stoking the fire. Humiliation gnawed at me, raw and unrelenting. I'd given up my dreams of night school for her. Saved every penny for that ring on her finger, a modest diamond that now mocked me from the nightstand. Heartbreak twisted in my gut, but beneath it, something colder stirred, resentment sharp as a winter wind. The next morning, I forced a smile over coffee, the bitter brew mirroring my mood. "Rough night?" she asked, scrolling her phone, her manicured nails tapping the screen. Her eyes flicked up briefly, concern feigned or real. I couldn't tell anymore. "Yeah, work stuff," I lied, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. Inside, fantasies swirled, confronting her, screaming until the neighbors banged on the walls. Or worse, walking out, leaving her to her impressive life. But doubt crept in. What if I was overreacting? We'd built something here. The lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, her head on my chest as we binge-watched old movies. Guilt pricked me for eavesdropping, but it faded as I recalled her words. Embarrassing. No, this wasn't jitters. This was betrayal, slow dripping like poison into our foundation. At the warehouse, the forklift's engine roared, drowning my thoughts as I stacked crates under the harsh fluorescent lights. Sweat beaded on my forehead, mixing with the dust that clung to my skin like regret. My coworker Marco clapped me on the back during break. "You look like shit, man. Trouble in paradise." I shrugged, forcing a laugh. "Nah, just tired." But as I sipped lukewarm water from the cooler, obsession took root. I imagined her friends. Lisa, the influencer with her designer bags. Tyler, the hedge fund bro who always eyed Sophia a little too long. They whispered in her ear, planting seeds of doubt. And she listened. Let them erode us. Anger surged, hot and primal, making my fists clench around the plastic cup until it crumpled. By evening, resolve hardened. I couldn't just leave. That would be too easy for her. No, I needed her to feel the sting, the humiliation I'd swallowed like broken glass. But how? I wasn't violent. The thought of harm made my stomach churn. Moral conflict warred within me. Was revenge worth tainting my soul? Yet, as I watched her from the kitchen, humming while chopping vegetables, her engagement ring catching the light, resentment won. Play the long game. Subtle. Strategic. Over dinner, stir-fry she'd made, the sizzle of onions still lingering in the air, I probed gently. How was lunch with Lisa today? My tone was casual, but my eyes searched her face for cracks. She paused, fork midway to her mouth. Fine. Why? Just curious. You two seem close lately. I smiled, but inside doubt flickered. What if I'd misheard? No, the memory was etched, vivid as the steam rising from my plate. She laughed it off. Yeah, she's helping with wedding ideas. Speaking of, we should upgrade the venue. My parents offered to chip in. Grade. Because our plans weren't impressive enough. The implication hung unspoken, fueling my cold resolve. That night, alone in the living room while she showered, the water pattering like distant rain, I rifled through her phone. Guilt clawed at me, but curiosity, obsession, pushed forward. Texts from Lisa. Soph, you can do better. Think about your future. And Tyler. Hey, if things don't work out. Drinks? Her replies were evasive but not dismissive. LOL maybe. Heartbreak crashed anew, waves of fury pulling me under. I deleted nothing, left no trace. But the seed of vengeance sprouted. I'd uncover more, build a case. Perhaps expose her to her precious circle. Show them the real Sophia, the one who toyed with hearts. Fear mingled with excitement. What if she found out? What if I lost control? Yet, the planning calmed me, a quiet calculation amid the storm. Days blurred into a haze of feigned normalcy. At work, the clang of metal crates echoed my inner turmoil. I'd catch myself staring at nothing, fantasizing elaborate scenarios. Hacking her socials to post her secrets, but no too traceable. Or confronting her friends publicly, humiliating them as they'd done me. Doubt nagged. Was I becoming the monster? Moral grayness enveloped me. Revenge felt justified, yet tainted. One evening, as autumn leaves skittered across the sidewalk outside our window, I overheard another call. Hiding in the bedroom, door cracked, her voice low. I know, Tyler. But Alex is safe. Predictable. Laughter. Yeah, you're right. I need excitement. Excitement. The word ignited obsession. Safe. I'd been her rock through her job losses, her family's drama. Humiliation burned brighter. That night in bed, her hand on my arm felt like a lie. I turned away, mind racing with plans. I'd befriend Tyler, perhaps. Infiltrate their world. Subtle hints dropped like breadcrumbs leading to her downfall. The first step, a chance meeting. I knew from her calendar, synced to mine. She'd be at a gallery opening with friends. I'd show up uninvited, play the doting fiancé. Observe. Gather ammunition. Arriving fashionably late, the gallery's white walls gleamed under spotlights, the air thick with perfume and pretentious chatter. Sophia's eyes widened when she saw me. Alex, what are you doing here? Surprise, I said, kissing her cheek, cold lips on warm skin. Thought I'd join the fun. Inside, rage simmered as Tyler smirked from across the room. His tailored suit screaming privilege. As the night wore on, wine loosening tongues, I listened. Lisa's snide comments. Soph, your man's got that blue-collar charm. Tyler's lingering gaze on her. Suppressed rage built a pressure cooker. But I smiled, biding time. Later, alone with Sophia in the cab home, the city lights streaking past like shooting stars, I asked. Your friends seem opinionated. Tense. What do you mean? Just vibes. I watched her fidget, guilt flashing in her eyes. Tension heightened. A slow burn toward the inevitable. That week I delved deeper. Using a burner app, I messaged Tyler anonymously. Heard you're into Sophia. She's playing you both. No response, but seeds planted. Doubt plagued me. Was this crossing a line? Fear of consequences loomed, but resentment propelled me. Inner conflict peaked one rainy afternoon. Staring at my reflection in the fogged bathroom mirror, water dripping from the faucet like tears, I questioned everything. Heartbreak lingered, a dull ache. But cold resolve won. She'd pay for the humiliation. Subtle signs emerged, her growing distance, late nights at work. Suspense built as I pieced together her affair. Taylor. Confirmed by a shadowed photo on her phone. Obsession consumed me. Plans crystallized. The retaliation began quietly. A whispered rumor to Lisa. Sophia's been seeing someone. Let it spread. Moral ambiguity weighed heavy. Was I destroyer or avenger? As part one closed, tension coiled tight. Revenge loomed undeniable. The revelation hit like a thunderclap in the silence of our apartment, rain lashing the windows as if the sky itself wept for what was coming. I'd tailed her that evening, guilt twisting my gut like a wet rag, watching from the shadows of a dimly lit alley as she slipped into Tyler's sleek Manhattan loft, her laughter echoing up the stairwell. The door clicked shut behind them, sealing my fate. Heartbreak morphed into a void, filled only by cold fury. No more denial. This was war. Back home, the clock ticked mercilessly, each second amplifying my obsession. I paced the living room, the carpet muffling my steps, the scent of her perfume lingering like a ghost. Fantasies of bursting in, fists flying, flashed, but no. That was crude, unworthy. My revenge would be surgical, poetic. I'd dismantle her world from the inside, using her own weapons. Image, status, impressiveness. Moral conflict raged as I sat at my laptop, fingers hovering over the keys. Was I justified? She'd betrayed me, humiliated me in whispers and deeds. Yet doubt whispered, two wrongs don't make right. Guilt flickered, but resentment extinguished it. She'd chosen this path. I'd merely illuminate it. The plan unfolded in layers. First, gather evidence. I'd installed a discreet app on her phone weeks ago, hidden in a software update she'd mindlessly accepted. Now it yielded gold. Texts with Tyler steamy and damning. Can't wait to ditch the deadweight, she wrote. You're everything he's not. Rage boiled, but I channeled it into strategy. Next, infiltration. Posing as a headhunter on LinkedIn. Fake profile, polished resume. I contacted her boss at the marketing firm. Heard Sophia's a rising star, I messaged. Any insights? Subtle probing revealed her padding her portfolio, claiming credit for team projects. Hidden motives emerged. Her ambition, unchecked, had bred deceit. At home, dialogue heightened tension. Over breakfast, eggs sizzling in the pan, steam curling like secrets, she avoided my eyes. You're quiet lately, she said, voice tentative. Am I? I replied, stirring coffee with deliberate slowness. Maybe I'm just reflecting. Suppressed rage laced my words, but she missed it, lost in her phone. That afternoon at the warehouse, the forklift's hydraulic whine mirrored my inner turmoil. Marco noticed. Bro, you plotting world domination or what? Chuckled darkly. Something like that. Planning consumed breaks. I'd leak her affair to her parents. Conservative, image-obsessed. But anonymously to avoid blowback. Fear gripped me. What if it backfired? What if she suspected? Suspense built slowly. A quiet dinner out, candlelight flickering across her face, masking the storm. I love you, she said suddenly, hand on mine. Do you? The question slipped out, laced with bitterness. She froze, eyes widening. Tension crackled like static. Of course. Why? Just asking. I smiled, but inside obsession peaked. That night, I sent the first anonymous email to her parents. Photos from the app, blurred faces but clear intent. Thought you should know. Guilt assaulted me as I hit send, the screen's glow illuminating my shadowed face. Was this justice or pettiness? Moral grayness blurred lines. Her betrayal felt visceral, mine calculated. Her reaction came swiftly. The next day she stormed in, face pale, eyes red-rimmed. My parents called. Someone's spreading lies. Lies. A faint shock, heart pounding. What about? She hesitated, voice cracking. About me and Tyler. It's not true. Dialogue revealed cracks. Tyler. Your friend. I pressed, suppressed rage bubbling. Just a colleague, she lied, fidgeting with her ring. Tension mounted, her guilt palpable. But I pushed further. If it's lies, why so upset? She snapped. Because it's humiliating. The irony struck like lightning. Humiliating. My word thrown back. Inner thoughts swirled. Satisfaction mingled with heartbreak. She'd feel my pain layered and raw. The slow burn accelerated. Rumors spread at her work. Via another anonymous tip, her padded resume exposed. Her boss called her in, she came home fuming. Someone's sabotaging me. Paranoia set in. She eyed me suspiciously over wine that evening, the clink of glasses echoing like accusations. You wouldn't know anything. Me. Innocence feigned but doubt crept. Had I gone too far? Obsession drove me onward. Befriending Lisa online, under an alias, I fed her doubts. Sophia's not who she seems. Let the circle implode. Climax approached. A gala, her firm's event. I'd surprise again. Dressed sharply in my best suit, the fabric stiff against my skin, I arrived amid champagne flutes and murmured deals. Sophia spotted me, panic flashing. Tyler hovered nearby, smirking. Confrontation simmered. Alex, please leave, she whispered, gripped tight on my arm. Why? Not impressive enough. The words escaped, raw and revealing. Her face drained. What? I heard you. On the phone. Fury unleashed, quiet but lethal. She stammered. It was a mistake. Save it. I turned to Tyler, voice steady. Enjoy her. She's all yours. But the twist loomed. As I walked away, phone buzzing. Her parents disowning her via text I'd forwarded anonymously. Wait, no, I'd orchestrated it all. Wait, deeper. In my planning, I'd uncovered Tyler's secret. Married. I'd tipped his wife anonymously too. Chaos ensued. The payoff, at the gala, Tyler's wife burst in, screaming accusations. Sophia, caught in the crossfire, humiliated publicly. Her career tanked as truth surfaced. Yet, the shocking twist. As I watched from the shadows, satisfaction soured. Her tears, real, broken, mirrored my own pain. Guilt crashed. I'd become the betrayer. Walking home alone, rain soaking me, cold resolve shattered. Revenge's consequences. Isolation. Emptiness. Poetic justice. She'd lost everything, but so had I. The moral gray. Vengeance's hollow victory. In the end, a note left on the empty apartment. You were right. Not impressive. But neither are you.